Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. You're here with Juzzie, and this is my Suzuki GSX S750. This is the TweakedGSX, and I haven't posted a video for this for a short while because the truth is I've been so damn lazy. I've actually been able to finally ride this bike with much better weather in Brisbane, Australia. I haven't actually done any mods to the bike since the last video, but I've got one new mod for the bike today and one slight repair job which I thought might be helpful to people who have looked at one of my videos before in installing the speeder levers. Now the first thing I'm going to talk about today is another decal set which I have purchased for the bike. The part numbers for these decals are here and here. And these decals are ones that I saw on some people's bikes, and I'm not quite sure if it was something to do with a discrepancy of models in certain countries, but it's definitely either from a 2018 or 2019 with the KEL sort of metallic Triton blue and black paint scheme. So basically this is a decal that actually sits here on the top part of the bike, and in my previous videos you would have seen that I had installed one on the lower side, and that blue matches the wheel color as opposed to more of a Triton blue. So when you look from behind on the bike, please excuse the glare outside, but the blue does get picked up on a when you look at it from behind with the bike. But when you look from the front, the one thing I started thinking after I published my video and I'd done the install of this blue part here was that it was just missing perhaps a little bit of blue up here, and this is going to fix it. So again, I purchased these parts from WeBike Japan. If you look in my video history, a few videos back, I posted a video showing how you can buy parts for, you know, OEM Japanese bike parts or aftermarket. As you can see, a lot of the parts on this bike are from that site. And yeah, basically I went into the website, had a look at the diagram schematics, and found, after just looking through different year models, 2018, 2019 and 2020, but I think this was from a 2018 or 2019. And I was having a look through decals. I had a look through Google, having a look at different schemes that people had, as well as the Facebook groups, and I found this decal. So I missed this one when I originally did my install. As I said, some countries seem to come with this decal and some did not. It took me a little while to try and figure out what this actual part number was, but after doing a whole bunch of Google searches, Google image searches as well, Facebook searches like members rides and that sort of thing, I finally found it. No one had actually posted it up, but I glued it together as you can expect, and yeah, now I've actually got the part here. So this is a part that actually goes up here or here. I think it's pretty much here on this part, and it'll bring some blue to the top of the bike. So I'm actually going to clean this area down, and then I'll pop the decal on and I'll show you what that looks like, and I'll probably pop a picture up on my Instagram as well. Just in case you're wondering, this car in the background is not the replacement for my Evo. Unfortunately, one of our other cars had a tiny little fender bender where somebody clipped the rear bumper and caused a tiniest little scratch of paint. The car's got to go in for a removal of the bumper and paint, and this is the hire car we got, and it is an absolute piece of junk. Peugeot 2008. It is a petrol engine and it sounds like a diesel, and it is the biggest piece of rubbish I have ever driven. Don't consider buying one. Thank God we've only got it for about a week. Alright, so here are the decals. Really nice. As you can expect, it arrived from WeBike Japan. It was airbagged up. As you've seen in my previous videos, it only had the two decals in there, but I also purchased a nut and bolt, and you might be thinking, why did I purchase that? Now what actually happened was, in my previous videos I installed a set of 3-piece speedra adjustable levers. I really like these levers. They've got a really clean look. They don't get dirty very easily. It's got like a matte black sort of, it's not gloss black, but it's more like a matte black sort of look, and it just really looks good. It complements the bike really well without being obtrusive and standing out and just taking over the rest of the bike. It is a Japanese part, meant for a Japanese bike, and you would have heard me say that phrase in one of my previous videos. I really like this set of levers. But on this bike, there was one little issue which I did come across, and I'm not quite sure what the reason is, but what I found was that I had a little bit of play in the lever, because in here where it inserts into the factory bracket part, it just had a tiny bit of play going up and down. And so what was happening is I'd go to move the lever, and it just had a tiny bit too much play going up and down here. In my situation, the brake side was actually okay. It was in what I would consider to be an acceptable limit. Now, I can't remember when I had my Honda Rebel if it came with any sort of little shims inside, like these, but I'm pretty sure that this package did not come with them. So I was thinking, okay, I know the way I'm going to fix this is by putting a shim inside, and so that's exactly what I did. So if you've purchased a set of levers before, whether it be this set or another set, and you're wondering how can I fix up that tiny bit of movement I've got in my levers, here's what I did. So I actually took this bolt and the corresponding nut on the bottom side out, and I took the adjustable lever out, and of course I saw that there was a tiny bit of movement there. So I went onto eBay and I had a look at some shims, and what I'll do is in the description box below I'll actually have a link to the name of this part. I think when I bought this was the last set of actual RC racing, so radio control car shims that you use on different sorts of cars. But as you can see here, it comes with a whole lot of different thicknesses from 0.1 to 0.5 millimeters. And I think in my case, I put a 0.2 millimeter spacer into mine, so a little spacer shim. They come in individual little baggy wraps inside, and they're, as you can see, they're stickered, so you know exactly which one it is that you want. But depending on how much little play you have in your lever, this can be really helpful. The thing I found really hard about installing it though is that you've obviously got to have some sort of grease in there. So I use a Penrite lithium grease, as I do on any sort of mechanical thing I go to install, which is going to have some moving parts. And what I did was, because this part is very easy to move around, what I did was I took the bolt and the nut out, took out this lever, put a bit of grease in where the shim would sit underneath this bracketed area, so to speak. And as I was popping it in, the grease actually helped it to stay there. So it was actually pretty good. If you find that doesn't work for you, what you can do is just put grease on the shim and put it in right where you're going to have it, where the bolt goes through, and then just gently push the lever back in, and hopefully it stays in place. It worked for me, and as you can see now, it's taken away almost all of the slop. I've actually just left it with a tiny bit of movement so that it doesn't just sort of rub metal on metal or aluminium on aluminium, and so that it increases its longevity, but also takes away a tiny bit of that slop movement, because it did have a little bit of a space there. So I did not actually have that happen with my Honda Rebel. So I'm not quite sure what it was, but it was a very easy fix. I think it cost about $7-8 in Australia when I bought it. You could easily go down to your local parts tool shop or mechanical shop and just buy these little shims. So as I said, that's the part number. This is actually from Yeah Racing, so this is like one of these Taiwanese aftermarket, I think they're Taiwanese, aftermarket RC manufacturer parts, and they make all sorts of radio control car parts. But this shim was perfect for me. The size was 8x14. It says stainless steel spacer set. So for me, I think I used a 0.1 and a 0.2, so I think total was about 0.2 or 0.2 or 0.3 from what I recall, and that fixed it up. Now, what I was worried about is that with that movement, potentially something could happen with the thread on the bolt. So if you do end up just wanting to know the part numbers for the bolt and a nut for the lever set, I'll have those parts, but that's the one for the bolt. And can't see that part for the nut there, but I'll probably pop that in the description anyway. But it's, yeah, it is one of these special, it's not a nylon nut, but it has something inside it which acts like a nylon nut. So it is from what I recall, yeah, there it is. Don't know if it's easy to see, but it's got that little part there at the top of the thread, and it helps it to stay in place without actually being a nylon nut. Other than that, the bike has not changed. I've actually taken the bike in for a service. I think the bike now has 1,150 odd kilometers, so not a lot. My house is not very, very far from the city. But yeah, the bike has been amazing to ride. It's treated me really good. Nothing has played up on it. Had the service. I think Suzuki said that it was about milliliters of radiator coolant down. So they've topped that up. But yeah, they did the oil change, did the filter change, did the chain clean and lube. And yeah, I got them to just check over my mods because I'd lowered the bike. I'm not a mechanical engineer by any sorts, but I am an enthusiast. They A-okayed it, as well as my front load suspension. So yeah, that's good to know, and the bike has been riding really well. So I'm just going to give that a clean now and just place that decal, and let's have a look at what it looks like once it's installed. So here is the look of the bike without it, just paying attention to the rear black part there. Okay guys, so I've taken the seat off. So to do that, you've got to take off the side piece, the bolt on either side, and as well as the bolt for the seat. And the reason for that is because when you go to install this decal, the decal sits on like this, and there's a part down here where the seat is kind of a little bit in a way, so it's just much easier to actually install that on and fold it over like that. So I'm actually just going to give that a nice good clean wipe down, and I'll pop it on. I can't do that with my two hands. I'm recording on my phone today because my action cam is not here with me. It's actually at my friend's place, but let's get it on and have a good look at it. Alright, so I've actually just placed one of the decals on this side and then torn away the protective cover for it. Looks so good. Here's the other one here. So basically it comes with the white backing, as you saw. You peel off the white backing, then you've got this top part. The top part is perfectly cut, so you know exactly where it's supposed to go around the edge of the body lines here on the rear, and you simply just peel off this top part. So look at that, so good. The blue is amazing. The blue matches the Triton blue, so you've got no issues, like I guess if you were to go to an aftermarket decal manufacturer. Look at that, so nice. So I think the blue on the back there makes the back of the bike pop just that little bit more. So I'm going to put the carbon fiber and the seat back on, and let's take a favorite final look. Okay, so here's the final look of the decals installed to the TweakedGSX. Looks really nice. I've got the seat back on, the carbon sides, the carbon rear. So as I was saying, the blue really matches the Triton blue for the fairings. It's much brighter than the wheel that you get from factory. It is actually brighter than the blue that appears to be on the lower side that I'd purchased as well, genuine from Suzuki. I'm not really sure if that's more because it's on a lower, darker side, but yeah, that's what it looks like. From the rear, it is a cloudy, darkish day here in Brisbane, Australia. No bubbles, perfect alignment. So it is another video install for the TweakedGSX. Thanks for watching again, guys. I know I've said it before, but the exhaust video is coming. I have actually purchased a wireless mic to go with my DJI action cam. I've literally got it. I haven't unboxed it. Just been so busy, school holidays and all the parenting likes. Selling a car right now and doing a whole lot of radio control car racing with my son. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.